right now coming into Thailand or any other places really, you have to quarantine because of the current situation. And in this video we're gonna show you a day in quarantine, basically, to show you what it's like. Before we came to quarantine ourselves, I was wondering as well, what is it like in quarantine? How boring it is, I know. What's the procedure? What'd you get? Like, what is it like? So yeah, you're gonna see all of it today. By the way, this video is sponsored by Skillshare, but we'll get to that in a bit. We are seeing right now some new people arriving, so I'm better go back in and put my mask on. So I've been seeing people arriving pretty much every other day. And there's some more people arriving right now. But anyways, let's go and show you our room. This is where it is. Say hi to the camera, Olivia.
Hi. Oh my God.
You just woken up.
You caught me off guard. You caught me off guard.
Yeah, the room is it's pretty basic. So I didn't want to film the room too much. As you could see, there was like a bit of a flickery sort of light effect, which is horrible. The room itself has like a double bed, like an extra bed where is our wardrobe apparently, because there's no wardrobe. And there's a tiny mini fridge, and there's a flat screen TV that's not a smart TV, but it's a flat screen TV, so you can download movies into USB and you can watch films and stuff like that. Other than that, and also an aircon. Other than that, there's pretty much that's it, just a shower and so on. So it's just a room, you know what I mean? So we're gonna go and try our breakfast right now. Breakfast has been surprising us every single morning, so see what it's like this morning. So Olivia just prepped some coffee, some of this some of the super coffee.
This is gonna be the best coffee you ever had.
Mmm. Kind of wish they had some tea or something, right?
I know, I haven't had a cup of tea in so long. It's just this every other day, which...
It looks very unhealthy.
It doesn't taste much like coffee, but it has very strong effects like coffee. You end up like this, and we're just trying to make YouTube videos like this out here. It's
right, so I'm gonna try to be careful with my dosage.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to try the breakfast and see what it's like? Last time we had egg, it had loads of sugar in it, which is quite random. So let's give it a go, let's give it a dig. I'm gonna have one heavy bite. It's a lot of egg, eh? Mine's alright.
You alright?
It doesn't have sugar as much as last time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, let's try the sausage as well.
It's like a salami looking thing.
The sausage is kind of sweet. But that's normal in Asia. You get a lot of sweet meat. That's just totally normal. My favorites are usually dumplings, so I'm gonna give it a go.
They do look
Cut it in
pretty
half,
good.
as you can see. And some sort of like meat or something in the middle. So Olivia's already digging in. So what is it like? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's alright. It's a bit cold because we're 4 hours late for breakfast.
Obviously, I think that's our own mistake.
But it's not so bad. I like these. It's like a little sausage roll, but Asian style, like a dumpling.
A little dumpling, right?
Yeah.
So usually every morning breakfasts are very different. Yesterday there was like congee. Congee is basically like a rice porridge with meat. And that's usually what you get. Congee, or you get like a little jam sandwiches. I got like my sandwich yesterday, but it didn't have jam in it. Was a bit disappointed. Should have filmed it, right? But hey. So this is pretty much our breakfast in the quarantine. I wish we had a little bit of bread over this egg. That would be so well, because I feel like this just... Maybe they're just trying to keep us healthy, eh? It's all about that keto.
I already feel like I'm losing weight.
You know what I mean? The main downer when it comes to breakfast or just food in general is that everything comes in plastic. So this comes in plastic, then you got like...
Get these with the cutlery in every single meal, so you get 3 of these a day. And it's pretty bad for like plastic waste, right?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, this is just from us two. Can you imagine like everyone else doing, like all of our neighbors? So it is pretty bad. So right now I'm basically gonna go look for our cat. I'm not sure if you guys watched our previous videos, but if you did, you know that we have rescued a little kitty, and we did not abandon it. We brought it all the way to Thailand, so it's somewhere around in the area. So since it's a cat, it doesn't like to stick in one spot, so I'm just gonna go look for him right now, because last night he was just begging to come out even though it was freezing. So I'm just gonna go look for the cat right now. So I need to put my mask on because obviously there's more people staying around, so you have to keep it safe. So whilst I look for the cat, I'm also gonna show you a little bit around the area. So the area itself is actually quite nice. It's a well looked after little gardens with like loads of greenery and stuff. And sort of we're going behind our bungalows because that's where a cat usually chills, and that's where its toilet is. So we have like a little sandbox and stuff like that. that we had to buy. This is our room basically. We're here. This is our cat's toilet, and the cat is actually gone. The cat's not even here. That's a bit annoying, because sometimes I feel like the cat sort of gets freaked out and then he just gets stuck somewhere in like a little hole, and he stays there for like probably like a day or two. If I don't go there, he'd probably stay there, because he has like a bit of a traumatic past, like a PTSD. So sometimes he just loses memory and he just like blanks out in the middle of doing something. He just, wait, what am I doing? So he's just a bit of a weird little cat. So that's why I'm going to look for him to see if I can find him. So this is pretty much the front. So new people moved in today, like I mentioned previously. So at the very beginning when we arrived here, we obviously work online, and Wi-Fi was pretty important for us, so we had a bit of issues with that. It's got fixed because the lady who's looking after the place, she's pretty sound, so she fixed it for us. It's not amazing, just to let you know, it's not amazing. It could definitely be better, because I feel like once they fixed that one Wi-Fi, everyone else started to using it. And oh, hello. Hello, Chai. Look at him. This is it. This is our Chai boy. What are you doing here? Are you not hungry? Chai. What's happened to your nose? It's so dirty. Dirty kissy. Are you hungry? Right, let's go eat some breakfast. Come on. Cat's safe and sound. He's not coming, but as long as I know he's alright, that's good enough to me. So the nurses have arrived and they're probably doing some tests for new arrivals. It's not as bad because we're not getting tests. As you know, tests are pretty awful. They stick this thing up all the way to your brain. It's not pleasant. So we're gonna have 2 more of those before we leave the quarantine. So one is like in the middle of the quarantine and one is just before you leave the quarantine. So luckily for us, it's only a temperature check, not a COVID test, so that's okay. So Olivia's got her check.
It's okay.
Hey. So it seems like you're okay.
I think my temperature's okay.
Yeah, all good. So now that we had our breakfast and our temperature checks, next thing we're looking forward to is lunch.
How exciting.
Because really there's not much to look forward to. It's pretty boring. Olivia teaches English classes, so she's a bit entertained.
Oh, it passes a few hours of my day, so I look forward to that. But
yeah, and I'll be editing like YouTube videos and stuff like that. So our lunch has arrived as well now, and today for lunch we're having sort of like a chicken breast with rice,
cucumber,
a tiny amount of cucumber, a little bit of sliced up fruit. So we got the usual watermelon and pineapple, and then we have like a broth, like sort of soup with some meatballs and a little bit of vegetables. Wanna give it a go, see what it's like. The soups are nice here, aren't they?
refreshing, yeah.
Yeah.
You usually always get one of these little soups with like a rice and meat dish. Even in like restaurants, it comes like that. So it's really nice.
So we just wanted to film this lunch to show what lunch looks like, but we're not hungry because we've just had breakfast about 40 minutes ago, because like we said earlier, we slept in this morning and no one knocked on our door to actually wake us up and do the tests. So it's a late one. And it's one of those, you know, because the food comes in a certain time, and if you don't eat it, then the food goes cold and it's just sort of going to waste a little bit. So I'll try to have a bit of soup as much as I can. So the most asked question that we had was obviously the prices of the quarantine, and we are going to talk about that in a minute. But first of all, we'd like to talk about our sponsor for this video, which is Skillshare.
So if you don't know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes, and it covers topics such as photography, graphic design, marketing, and many, many more. We were interested in joining Skillshare because it had so many classes on so many kinds of topics, like I just said, but they were covered in such detail that you can't really find that on any other platform. So we wanted to join Skillshare to use it to level up our skills for our YouTube channel, because we're not the most organized people. We can be quite quite lazy. So a class that we found super helpful for this was Productivity for Creatives, Build a System That Brings Out Your Best by Thomas Frank. So this class has loads of useful tips on how to manage your time and create a better work schedule so that we can actually enjoy our free time and not spend all of that doing work as well. We can organize our time better. So that was a great class for us. And if you are interested, Skillshare has actually given us 1 month free trial for the first 1,000 of our subscribers that join via the link in the description. So you can go and head down and check that out now if you're interested.
So here's the answer for the most asked question about AQ hotels.
How much does it actually cost? So we've done all the calculations, and for the hotel that we are at, we are paying $60 a night per person. So $60 for Mario, $60 for me. We actually got a discount because we're sharing a room, although we did have to pay for the cat as well, so that was an extra price just for us.
Like $100 or something like that, yeah.
But if you're coming just as one person, it will be around $70 to $75 a night at this hotel. But this includes quite a lot of things, so it's like a package price. Yeah. So included in this price is obviously your room with the aircon, the TV, the fridge, the kettle, the bathroom, all of that stuff. And we've actually got a double bed and another single bed, so it's quite a spacious room. It's for our cat, you know, because cat likes to sleep in an extra bed. And you also get 3 meals a day, water with every single meal, and you get coffee in the morning. You also get the nurses coming to check twice a day your temperature. If you do get sick, I think there is like medicine service you can have. I'm not sure, we haven't been sick yet. And also included in this price is 2 or 3 COVID tests. It said 3 COVID tests online, but the lady said she was only going to do 1 when we arrived and then 1 later. So I'm not sure, it might only be 2, but
I mean, that's all you need, so you don't have to worry about COVID tests. Pay one price for the whole bundle and you don't have to worry about any tests, any foods. Just do your quarantine and then off you go, whatever you want.
When you think about all of that being included, the price is not so bad. I mean, for a lot of people that is super expensive, and for us, the reason that we chose to come to Thailand and pay for such an expensive quarantine instead of flying out of Laos was because Laos was only doing charter flights at the time, and a flight from Laos to South Korea at the time was $700 per person. It was really expensive. It was literally the same price as the quarantine in the end. And then, I mean, we have now the freedom to travel around Thailand and then get a cheap flight out of Thailand wherever we want to go next. So the price kind of evened out for us. I mean, we could have flown to Bangkok for cheaper, but then you would have just had to quarantine in Bangkok, which is way more expensive than quarantining in Nong Khai. So that was our logic and reasoning for why we did what we did, but obviously everybody's different.
I feel like she's just talking and I'm like Silent Bob. If you've seen Jay and Silent Bob, I feel like the Silent Bob. I'm just yep, right, yep. She's got the info. She's like our news lady. Another cool thing about this quarantine hotel is because of all this exercise space, we can exercise. So I feel like if you were flying to Bangkok, we couldn't come out and exercise. Whereas here is a designated area. As you can see, there's no people in here. And guess what? I've actually brought my skateboard all the way from Laos, and now I can just skate. How cool is that? So yeah, so I'm doing that every evening from now on, because I mean, we need to stay healthy. When it comes to COVID, it's all about your immune system, and if you don't exercise, it's not really good. So really happy to have this here. So what can I say? Can't be any happier, man. Just having all this exercise and all this place to myself. And I just saw that there's some fruit growing here. Let's go and check it out. By the looks of it, these look like pomegranates. Oh yeah, another beautiful pomegranate. So there's like a pond, apparently there's a train line, but it's always stopped, so I can never hear any noise or anything like that. It's like abandoned minivan in here. I'm not sure what it was, but the other day I saw 3 dogs chasing some animal with a long tail. I was like, is that a cat? But it's too big for a cat. There's no chance of monkeys being here. And what I've discovered was this massive honeycomb. So there's the honeycomb. And you know what, guys? It looks way bigger in person. It's huge. It's massive, but it's also abandoned, so I feel like there's no more bees anymore. So over here there's a nice little lake, and also bananas. It's a banana. Yep, loads of banana trees growing here, and they're all almost ripe. And here's the nice little lake. There's actually like 2 ponds, not lake, sorry, it's a pond. And I wonder if there's any fish in there. I wonder if we eat any fish from here. But overall it's quite nice, you know, if you were comparing to quarantine hotel in Bangkok where you're stuck in a hotel for so long and you can't come out. This is top-notch stuff, I can say. This is nice. I like it. So it's gotten dark and it's obviously dinner time. It just arrived, and let's see what we got today. It's I'm not entirely sure what this is. It smells a bit like Mexican ceviche, but I wouldn't say that's that because we're in Thailand. So I'm just gonna give it a go to see what it actually is. So it smells like interesting. Is it papaya or is it onion? Alright, let's just give it a go. It's, I think it's like a processed meat or something. It looks like a spicy salad. Kind of reminds me a bit of Laos in a way. Fried rice with some sausage or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. It's just interesting. There's also like a soup sort of thing. It has a bit of meat and loads of herbs, and it smells a lot like tom yum. It tastes a lot like tom yum. It's very like soury, and I love it. And this is the stuff I like. Oh, lovely. What they also give you is these like seed milk. Every single evening you get one of those. I'm gonna get 3 of those per person a day, which I wouldn't say that's necessarily enough water. Definitely not. You need at least 2 liters a day, which is the minimum. I guess at the end of the day, it is food. No matter what food, you know, it's still food. Although I still kind of wonder, when we first arrived, we were like filling in a form, and they were asking what was our favorite food. So I just wrote pizzas, burgers, salads. I typed European food because I've been living in Laos for the past couple of years. No matter how much I love Southeast Asian food, I miss, you know, my Western food as well, and I'm sure you can understand that, guys. And still no burgers, no pizzas. I mean, I wasn't really expecting that to happen. I just thought like it was kind of silly that this was there, and this was a choice, because yeah, it still never happened. And you're also probably wondering why Olivia is not having dinner with me. Well, I'm gonna show you exactly why.
Helmet. Good job.
Yeah, so she's just teaching English. As you could see, she was just sat on the floor because there was no desk, you know, like a teaching desk. That's a bit of a annoying thing, because she said like her back starting to hurt after a couple of hours. She has to do like 4 hours, so that's a long time, you know, 4 hours in a row on the floor. One of those. We gotta hustle. So yeah, this is pretty much it for today. I was expecting the nurses coming and checking our temperature. They used to do that twice a day. Yesterday just was once. Today was just once. Usually it comes before the dinner. It didn't came, so I have no clue. But anyways, guys, this is what it's like a day in AQ, acquired quarantine. And this is pretty much it. It's pretty damn boring, all I can say, but it could be worse. it could be worse. So at least, you know, we have a bit of exercise, we have a bit of like garden space, and just walk around. There's like a whole parking space, so that's okay. And anyways, if you did enjoy this video, as always, don't forget to hit that like button. If you don't want to miss any of our content, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.